Hey folks, welcome back to Shadow Empire. Okay, so let's have a look what we need to do this turn. This game's going south, I've got to tell you, but it's been going south right from about turn 5 or 6, so I'm not going to cry about it too much. We're in a full-blown decade of revolution. We've completed research in polymer armor. Now that could be helpful, but we don't have much in the way of rare metals at the moment, so I don't know how useful it's going to be. We've also discovered heavy combat armor as a result. We've got access now to Minotaurs 7. These are a heavy Gauss. Is that heavy Gauss or is it laser? I think it's heavy Gauss. And then we've got, we've got a couple of cards. Worker Privilege is a nice card actually. That's pretty useful. I wonder if we can use that on Minos or Minos. Let's have a look. Yeah, work happiness is very, very low. Not good. Let's see what we can do. That might be something to do right at the start. Which one generates this card? I need to try and remember this. I want to look at that actually. Let's go to the stratagem generation overview. Where are we? Wargames, worker privilege. Where's worker privileges? Maybe it comes from. Is this one that comes from the organizations? No, sorry. The what do you call them? The factions. I wonder. Oh, it's been such a while since I played this. Okay, so here we go. Factions overview. Oh no, it will be in the letterbox if it's in there. Yes, it was. It was. So this was. Your organization's factions generated the following stratagem. Gift 400 credits. Oh, okay, didn't specify which one did it. Yeah, sorry, it was the Equality Party. Okay, so, yeah, here you go. That is, by the way, there's a way of looking at these, looking these up. There's a CSV file in the game that you can look up to see where these are generated, I think. And yeah, it's mostly documented in here. It's actually in the manual too. Okay. What are we doing? Right, we need to get these troops into Minos, I think. I want to look at the history just quickly, just to see what happened last turn, because it looked like things went really bad, especially on the front with Goldstone. Dunkel's start seemed to be moving about a little bit. Yeah, here's where Goldstone really move in, look. Kind of forgot that they're the strongest faction, and I really was a little bit hoodwinked by the fact, not hoodwinked's not the word, I deluded myself into thinking that the massive push that I subjected them to, I've somehow translated that into them being very weak, and they're not. They are still very, very strong, particularly with the air forces that they're starting to hit me with now. So we've got to come up with some way of defeating these air forces. We need to build air bases and air force. We need an air force, basically. Flat guns. What do you call them? The man pads. Whatever we can get in order to be able to push them. But look, we are losing hundreds and hundreds of troops here. Very, very bad. This is the worst turn we've had in a long, long time. But I like this. This is good. This means the AI is playing nicely. Because I don't like easy games, man. Easy games bore me. So this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see the AI pushing me back, because it means that Shadow Empire is doing well. Because I'm no slouch. I'm not bad at this game. I'll give myself that credit. Oh, while I'm blowing my own trumpet, I guess the other credit I'm going to give myself is the fact that I've stuck with this, where I think most people would have given up by now. And I have considered it, but I don't want to give up on this. This is like the best game of Shadow Empire I've played in ages. In ages, man. Because Shadow Empire, before all the changes... Yeah, let me just have a quick aside. So, before all the changes that came in, probably about 2 years ago, I think, when Vic really started to go into the detail and start working on the sandbox element stuff. And that's when he really started working on the AI behavior as well, in a big way. Before that, Shadow Empire was a little bit of a ruffle stomp for me, I'm not going to lie. Like, I really enjoyed all of the city, like, this is where I really got into, because I found the combat so easy. I really kind of just got into the economic and industrial aspect. So if you go and watch some, I guess the other big YouTuber who plays this game is Daz Tactic, right? And if you go and watch how Daz plays Shadow Empire, is very, very different. He doesn't really, at least he didn't, and me and him have talked about this. But he doesn't engage quite so much with the economic and the economic side of the game. Actually, he's interested. He does, and he knows it probably as well as me, if not better. The thing is that for example, he didn't really use the profiles. He never really looked at this stuff. He didn't know about the regime feats really until I did a podcast with him, and he's like, "Oh, right, I never really looked at these very hard." So Daz, and I'm not slagging him off. What I'm trying to say is that Daz plays very differently, right? He plays this more as a straight war game, really. I think and he loves the simulation side behind it. So Daz will spend a long time looking at all the kind of, let's go to like the planet overview and all this kind of stuff. Here we go, like the planetology details, and he loves all this side of it, and I do too. But he takes great pleasure in those small details, and I think that's great. It's why Daz is well interesting to watch. But he doesn't, there's certain aspects of the game that he favours over others. Like, so he's really into the military side of it. Whereas I just found that I love the military. Don't get me wrong, it's one of my favourite parts of the game. But it was really the economic and industrial aspect of the game, particularly with this indirect way that you have to handle it. Like, I think that the reason why I ranked Shadow Empire is an S tier game in my recent tier list is because it's got amazing games design, because it really allows new players to be introduced and play the game relatively quickly despite its complexity, because a lot of these mechanics can be ignored to a point on the lower levels, and it introduces them to you relatively slowly because it's got a lot of automated features. And a lot of this stuff you don't need to, for example, like the way that you move population between zones, and I'm not talking about the colonize button because this doesn't work, okay? Like, anybody who's played Shadow Empire on hard difficulty will tell you that you can send all the colonists you like to a zone, but getting them to stay there is a completely different matter, okay? But this is an example of what I'm talking about. It's got mechanics to kind of make things easy for newer players, but it's also super crunchy for veteran players when they get into it. So what I'm trying to get at in a roundabout way is that I've really got into the economic and industrial side of this game, particularly with the way that that you have to indirectly affect a lot of these mechanics in various ways, like whether it's building quality of life or through logistics stuff, or city placement, the finer nuances of the way that the asset management works, all that kind of stuff. And this game, finally, this is the first one that I've played in ages and years, really, where I was like, oh, I'm getting beaten in the military game. It doesn't happen. It just never happens. And this is exactly what I want. I don't want the game to be boring. I don't want it to be easy. I don't care about winning. And that annoys some of my viewers. I know that, because I've had a complaint when I've said, I don't care about winning as much as I do about making an interesting game for people to watch. Some people get really infuriated by that. And if you're one of those guys, sorry. I'm at that point of life where I find that, if I'm playing a multiplayer game and people are expecting me to play hard to win, then yeah, of course I'm going to do that. But, and I'm trying to win this, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to lose. But I'm 40 now, or 45. I've got to the point in my life where winning's not everything, and learning is way more interesting. Like, to me, learning is much more interesting, and telling a good story is much more interesting than just winning. Like, if I wanted to win this game at all costs, I could get super sweaty and figure out a way to do it, and I reckon I can do it, okay? But I'm not that bothered. I'm more bothered about having fun. Like, you get to a certain point where winning is just not that interesting, because most games are easy to win. Most games are really easy to win. If you got an IQ over 100, which most people probably who are watching this game are going to be well in excess of that. If you got an IQ over 100, you can probably win most video games that you're going to be playing. Okay, unless you're playing against other people. They're not that hard. Difficulty is not a thing that people really care about anymore. I'm in big trouble here, look. I'm in big trouble here. That's what I need to do. Yikes. We've got to do whatever we can to stop pockets forming now. and to stop HQs being destroyed. But there's nothing we can do about that now, I don't think. We just got, like, these guys are going to be in a pocket next turn. I guarantee it. We're going to lose these. So yeah, I've really screwed up here big time, and I think it's about time. We just need to try to get as many people out as we can. That might have been a good asset to try to save that brothel, but let's just try to keep things. Okay, let's bring these guys back up this way because we need these back here. Let's get those back up here too. Okay, they're all too weak to fight. they're all too weak to fight. Okay. I pulled everything back to fight Sansaria, and Sansaria have just been like, haha, we're not really attacking you. They are. They're just not making themselves known yet. Okay. Now we've got some issues. I'm going to march these troops up relatively slowly. There's a reason I'm doing that, because I don't want when we eventually do end up in action, it's really important that I don't I have got some action points. Whoa, what have we got here? Okay. We bumped into a very well hidden battalion there. Yeah, I'm not attacking into. That's a death sentence. I wanted Salmon Springs back, that Giza turbine, but don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, we're all right for energy. Yeah, but back to what I was saying. So yeah, people do raise an eyebrow when I say that. You know, I don't really care that much about winning, but winning's not that. Like, there's more to winning in life. Anyone can win a game. Winning games is easy. You know, if you're playing optimally. This game is not easy to win though, and now there's part of me that's kind of like, yeah, it would be great to be able to survive this. On the other hand though, this game needs to end soon. I think it's kind of getting to the point where I'm struggling to find motivation to play it because it's just taking so long, and that's always a bit of a problem. Okay, we've got a fresh battalion here that I raised. I wonder what we do with these guys. They've got to go up to this front, haven't they? Yeah, we haven't even got any logistics. Let's just move them. I don't want to move all of them. Let's have these unit admin attached to... Hold on, what's that group there? The 10th. Let's have these guys attached to the 10th. Oh, yeah, we got to unattach them first. There we go. Okay, now they lose a whole bunch of readiness when you do that, by the way. And then we'll strategic move them up there just so they're at least a little way up. Okay. Yeah, this has turned into a rout. This went from a very organised defeat, you know, organised fallback into a rout, and I'm going to be lucky here to survive, I think.
Birds are in the sky.
These guys are really well hidden as well. I wonder what it... I love these new what do you call it? Like the camouflage rules are so good. This is the new camouflage rules have turned this game from an A tier game into an S tier game. That's one of the things that I think has really changed about this, because before you couldn't use fighting retreat as a tactic. The scale was too big. Spies had that stupid thing where they could just see every military unit. So all you had to do is get a bunch of spies in, and then there was no mystery. There was no fog of war essentially. That's completely gone now, and the game is far better as a result. Incident with democratic activists. We can't do much about this. She's Governor Exchange top. So the reason why I'm groaning here is because we were quite close to due procedure, which would have been a really, really big thing for us. I don't think I care about her that much. Let's just
Yes, sir.
reverse the decision of the leader. She's going to cause us problems from now on, but there we go. Heavy combat armor. It's going to be the one. Module Design Council overview. I just don't think there's anything. Is there anything really worth us getting up at the moment? Maybe that new model of infantry. Just remind myself of what model we already had. Minosaurs 7. Oh yeah, laser rifles. Okay, it was laser rifles. They're expensive, and they're going to be. We're going to be we're going to be using a lot of energy if we start making those guys. We can't afford aircraft. How long is that going to take to come out? I wonder. I'm getting 5 per turn. 65. We're going to go with the new design here. Combat armor. Okay, let's just try that. It will take too long to get an upgrade of that old model out, and yeah, that's going to suck. But we're not going to have too many of the lasers anyway. Process and exchange top. Yes, let's give them some credits. That would be good. 84 difficulty though. We're not going to do that, are we? But it will make her happy. So what we're doing here, we're going to lose this. We're going to fail this basically. However, let's just have a look. Yeah, but she's a member of the Syndics, but it's going to put her back up into the good books a little bit. So, you know, we're going to be trading some unrest, I guess, for increased, you know, leadership happiness.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you got to do stuff like that, guys. Because the governor being a problem is worse than the unrest, in my opinion. Protests against high income tax in Eneris. Give me a one-time fix some tax rebate. I've not seen this one before. It's interesting. You know, you could do that. Calm down the process by talking to them. Again, look at this. Difficulty's quite high. So we're needing basically what, 63 or something.
Yes, sir.
Failure. Okay. Our Spies and Goldstone Federation found information. Blessed Crusaders, Orthodox. No, we want the Humanists.
Understood.
Excellent Lieutenant in the 11th Machine Gun Battalion. Let's just see what we've got here. Oh, I could really do with a Spirit de Corps right now. Let's go with enforcement. New commander for the 10th Modern Infantry Manpower Brigade. Wow, look at this. Okay, he's good. Very, very good. I might have bookmarked him for something else maybe, but I forget now. Okay, that's going to be about it, I think, guys, for this turn. Wow, it's getting brutal, this one. It's getting brutal. It's really good fun, though. I love it when it's difficult like this. This is really, really interesting. We can't build anything. We've got our logistics are too bad. And I can't really be bothered to sort out logistics today. There's probably some stuff we can do in order to get more, you know, to fix this bottleneck. But the problem is, the sad truth is, we've just got too many troops up there, and we can mess around with it all we like. But that is the sad truth, that we've got too many troops. We don't have the logistics. What we can do perhaps is maybe, while we're losing troops, while we're losing people from Minos, let's play that workers card, that worker privileges. I'm sure it's in Minos. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That helps a little bit. We want another one of those cards if we can get one. Do we have any other stratagems that we can play? Worker and population happiness increased by 2d10. How many? Yeah, this is probably worth playing
Yes,
as well.
sir.
Okay, that gives 8 work happiness. It's not a whole lot, but it's better than a kick in the teeth. That, you know, that might be just enough to stop our workers from dropping. Look how many few workers we got here. There's hardly anybody. They're all leaving. A lot of them going into Neris. But look at Minos is it's supposed to be a minor city. It's only got 82,000 people. They've all melted away because this is the problem, right? Once you start getting into a bit of a death spiral in terms of quality of life, it's really hard to get out of. Finally, this game is difficult. I'm really happy. It's like now I had a nagging feeling, even though with all my praise of Shadow Empire, there was a nagging feeling starting to set in that it was just there was nothing that Vic could do in order to make the game more difficult that would still keep it fun. No, I underestimated him in a big way. He's fixed the AI, and the AI is so much better now, and the survival simulation of the game is way better as well. Now, is this analysis based upon my mistake that I made in the game because I didn't know the new rules? Yes, it is. So am I likely to make those same mistakes again the next time I play it? No, I'm not. And does that mean that I'm likely to crush this difficulty level the next time I play it? Probably. But at least for now. But it doesn't matter. There is still more pressure. And so I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced actually that if I played this same map again and didn't make that mistake of attacking, Neris early, and well, it wasn't the mistake of attacking Neris early, it was the mistake of not building up enough ammunition. I didn't know about that rule, or I underestimated that new rule, right? But I think that if I did know about that and I properly prepared for that war, I still feel like there's been occasions in this game where things could have gone really badly, and I could basically end up in the same situation. And actually, for a gamer who plays these games a lot, and especially this game, like I know this is the game I know best out of all the games I know. I'll give myself. I don't really claim expertise over many games. I don't claim expertise over this game, but I do know it pretty well, I think. I mean, I know it well enough that I'm helping work on the manual and stuff now. So I do think that when you know a game like that and you know it that well, the amount of fun, you get diminishing returns with the amount of fun that you get from it, unless the game has a high amount of randomization and high difficulty, because you need that constant challenge, right? And if this was a static war game, like let's say I played War in the East, and I played that over and over and over, after a bit, because it's a single, obviously it's a big expansive game and a lot of things can change and it's very replayable, but I think that I'd feel less inclined to keep coming back to it once I'd kind of twigged how the AI and stuff worked. I think with a game like this though, with a 4X like game with procedurally generated content, that is also very, very deep, and to keep using this word that I keep using, but it's very crunchy. The mechanics are very crunchy, and what I mean by that is that there is a lot of detail that you can get that is tangible, that is meaningful to gameplay, and that the player has a way of interacting with in various ways. That doesn't make it prone to these claims that people have about the game being excessive management or micromanagement, to misuse that term, but actually are meaningful detail. I think because a game like this with so much meaningful detail and so much procedural generation, and the fact that it's difficult, this is great. I'm starting to fall back in love with Shadow Empire again. Not that I ever fell out of love with it. It's been a while since I've played this quite a lot, but I need to play this more, man, because this game has come on a long way. Just so you know, right, the other day, and I'm finished now, by the way, for those of you who just are not interested in me talking, you can sign off now, and I'll see you in the next episode for the next turn. I'm just going to talk for a minute because there's some stuff that I want to talk about with Shadow Empire. So I was actually watching a video by another content creator called Wade Star, who I don't really know, but his video seems good. Speaks very well. And if you actually search for Shadow Empire, because I was searching for other content creators on Shadow Empire because I'm curious to see how other people are playing this game. because like I said, I'm helping out with the manual a little bit, and it helps me to know where people are coming up with they're encountering friction with the game. And Wade Starr, he one of the top videos that you'll find on YouTube if you search for Shadow Empire is Wade Starr's video on why I'm quitting Shadow Empire, right? So I think he played like 50 odd episodes, which is a decent run for a Let's Play series, and he got 54 episodes or something in, and then he was like, oh, I'm finished because the pace of the game is changing too much, and he had a bunch of criticisms. Some of them I didn't really agree with, but then I looked at the age of the video and I was like, wow, this is actually 4 years ago. It's back in 2001. And he was like, right, I'm going to wait for this game to kind of, for the developer hopefully to fix some of the problems I've got with it and blah, blah, blah. It feels that, like he felt that the game he felt that he was worried that the developer was adding more stuff rather than fixing stuff that was in there. Now, I don't think you can claim that now, okay? I think that might have been a valid complaint at one point if you had problems with the game. I don't think that's the case now. Like in the last 2 years, most of the development work has been not on new content, especially since Oceania came out. Rick's pretty much just he's gone into the base game and just really tweaked things. Like he's working on it constantly as well. Because I talk to Vic all the time, like most days at the moment. I spoke to him most days, and I roughly know what he's doing. And yeah, so I was curious to see, because I saw this video and Wade Starr, he sounded quite pissed off actually in the videos. He kind of felt, I got the impression he felt like he'd sort of wasted his time with it a little bit, and he was like, he's not enjoyed it, and he liked the game, and he was like, look, I'm only giving it his criticism because I really like the game, but I want it to be better. And I do wonder if he came back to it now, whether that would be whether he would enjoy it more, because I really do think that Shadow Empire has really become very, very polished. And this is an example. Look at this. Right, I was playing before the ammunition update came in, whenever that was. Like, so this would have been, I started this game back about a year ago in February last year, and so February 2004. And the ammunition stuff came in probably about 6 months before that, and I'd not really played Shadow Empire for a while. I was playing Dominions and some other stuff, and I'd say when around that time when that ammunition change came in, this game changed dramatically. Like the quality of the game just went up. Like Shadow Empire was a great game, but it was flawed in various ways before that, and mostly kind of little issues with the AI, certain inconsistencies, stuff like water was a completely meaningless mechanic, mostly because you just got so much of it. That's changed now. Just the whole economic rebalance that he's done, the rebalance with trading has just been an absolute. This is so much better now, man. Like, this is what the game, if the game had released like this, and that would be impossible, by the way. Even a big development team couldn't have released a game this complex and had it that well balanced on release. So Vic did really well with what he did, and it was always we always knew that this was going to be a long-term project for him. But man, I tell you what, the way that this game has been polished up now, and the quality of the mechanics in it, and the amount of thought that's gone into it as well. Like, it's pretty mind-blowing to me. I'm actually really looking forward to starting a new game of this, because I think that I want to get into, there's so many areas of it I want to get into. Like, this has been a fantastic learning experience in terms of figuring out how to struggle with the economy when you are when you're on the back foot. Because I'm looking at, I think I'm going to lose this game now. I don't know, but the thing is with the AI attacks in pushes, so it can demoralize you because it does this great crazy push, and you lose a bunch of territory. But hey, look, I've got all this desert to fight through, and good luck finding my troops in the desert. But the problem is, I'm going to lose a lot of troops. So anyway, before I go too far and just like carry on rambling, I just thought that was an interesting point, right? That the game has come a long way since 2001, and I've dedicated a lot of time to playing this game. I know it pretty well, I think. I know it pretty well. And still, I'm always finding something new that I don't know, or that I'm doing wrong, And I'm one of those players that once I've kind of figured a game out, I start getting bored of it. Because some people criticize me for that, and I think that's fair. Like, one guy was kind of saying to me, you and a lot of new YouTubers, you seem to have this problem where you flip from game to game and you don't really stick with anything. And you have to understand that that's part of the YouTuber influencer thing, okay? If you just play one game over and over, you ain't going to get anybody watching your videos after a bit. So that's part of it. The other thing is that I am just naturally like that. I don't like to stick to one game. I get bored of playing the same game over and over. Like, I don't just play strategy games. You may or may not know, but I play stuff like I play Virtua Fighter, which is a fighting game, right? You know, and I play fighting games like with an arcade stick and stuff, and I'm quite good at them. Well, at least I think I am. But, you know, I play them quite seriously is what I'm trying to say. I put a lot of time and effort into them. I play arcade games. You know, I play platform games and beat 'em ups like Streets of Rage. And I play stuff like tactics games like, you know, old XCOM stuff. I don't just play strategy games. I play all kinds of things. I play RPGs. I play everything, basically. And I'm just a gamer in general. And so I have different games that I play for different energy states. And there's a few games that are games that I can generally play no matter how I'm feeling. Shadow Empire is not one of them. I kind of need to be in the right mood to play this. Conquest of Elysium is one I can pretty much play all the time. But I'm starting to think, man, maybe Shadow Empire is a game I need to start focusing on a little bit more now. Because I tell you what, everything I was watching Daz Tactic play a little bit tonight before I recorded this episode. And he was on Twitch, and just watching, he had a lot of people watching him, and just watching him play. And just like he was rediscovering it for the first time in a while as well. And just, you know, how happy he seemed to be playing it as well. I tell you, mate, it's not many games that does this. There's not many games that can do this. They just seem to just get better and better all the time. Alright guys, anyway, that's half an hour. I'm going to get off and stop rambling. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.